Hi, good morning, student. Welcome to Visual Art class for junior high school student. Before we go to the topics, I will introduce myself first. My name is Shafiera Arvinda. You can call me Ibu Vera or Miss Vera. I'm graduate from Visual Art Education and I live and born in Jakarta. So for our virtual learning, this is the application. For the learning activities, we will use Google Classroom and then Quintal. And then for our virtual meeting, we will use Zoom or Google Meet. And if you want to text me or asking or discussion, you can reach me through Google Hangouts or email shafiera.arvinda@spm.school.id. Okay, in the visual art class, you will generate and conceptualize artistic ideas, organize and develop artistic ideas, synthesize and relate knowledge and personal experiences to make artwork. And last is relate artistic ideas and artworks and societal, cultural, and historical context to deepen understanding. So in the visual art class, you not only learn about the techniques and result like painting or sculpture, but you will also start with making a concept that relate to our daily life. Okay, here's the list of topics for grade 7, grade 8, and grade 9. For grade 7, you will learn about the basic of visual art. There's the doodle art, space and perspective, Indonesia traditional pattern, and last is basic color theory. For grade 8, you will learn about art around the world and space and perspective, painting and textile craft. For grade 9, you will learn about drawing, like portrait drawing, basic anatomy, elements and principle in visual art, and also you will explore media in visual art. For our virtual learning, this is the materials that you need. First is laptop or PC, then your phone or camera, because we will take some photos of your result, right? Next is pencil, marker, ruler, and eraser. And then the tools for coloring. Sometimes you can use crayon or colored pencil, but I recommend to use paint for our learning activities. You can prepare like between the watercolor or acrylic paint or poster color. You can choose three of kind of paint. And then A4 or A3 drawing book. It's a must for drawing book. I recommend to use the A3 because if you want to use the A4, we just divide the A3 drawing book. Okay, and next is for the assessment. In the visual art class, the assessment is research, then the project, and last is the semester test. For grading, I will look for your creativity and originality, then the ability to understand and apply the materials, and overall concept, visual like composing the use of color, shape, form, pattern, and texture, and also the operational, like the way you use the tools, materials, and apply the techniques. So here that I already explained you about my class rules. So I'm not only evaluate for the result, I'm not only assess only for the result, but I also evaluate starting from the concept and then the visual, and last is operational. So I will also evaluate the process in the making of your artwork. Okay, I believe that all of you is already familiar about visual art, but I will remind you again. So here is the introduction of visual art. Okay, for the visual art is divided into two. First is applied art, or in bahasa we call it seni terapan. And then the fine art, in bahasa we call it seni murni. What's the difference? So the applied art, you have to do research because there's a functional there. And for the fine art, it's just expression for the artist. In fine art, there's a painting, sculpture, and graphic art. And then in the applied art, there's divided into two. First is craft. In bahasa, we call it kriya. And then next is design. For craft or kriya, there's a textile, craft for wood, leather, metal, and ceramic, and also webbing, rattan, bamboo, natural fiber, and weaving. For the design, there's a product design for industries, and then interior design. Next is visual communication design, like graphic design and multimedia, and last is architecture. I will give you, okay, here's the example of painting. Here's the watercolor, but there's another technique about painting like spray paint that you will learn in class later. And then here's the sculpture and graphic art. Graphic art in this picture is screen printing, or in bahasa we call it sablon. It's different with the graphic design because it's a manual technique. Next is for the applied art in craft. First is textile. I know that you are familiar with these things. Tie-dye. It's a tie-dye, or we call it shibori, and then there's an eco print. So the pattern is using the leaf. And then batik, and also natural dye. Next is craft. Craft for wood, leather, metal, and ceramic. Most of this craft is three-dimensional. And then for the webbing, rattan, bamboo, natural fiber, and webbing. And for the applied art in design, here's the example of product design for industries, architecture, interior design, and also visual communication design. You will learn this like making an infographic or a poster or brochure, and also the animation or illustration. It's also visual communication design. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching these videos. I can't wait to meet you in another session. See you and thank you guys.